Hello everyone, this is Winter. Sorry for the long pause in updates on the channel. A lot has happened, but what matters most is moving forward no matter what challenges try to block our path. Thank you for staying here. Now let's continue the story. Enjoy, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more. Lucio's words lingered in the air, gentle yet firm, as he told Ria to make herself at home. He confessed that he truly liked having her there and wanted her to remain with them from now on. The warmth of his tone struck deeper than she expected, leaving her standing still, stunned, her thoughts echoing the unfamiliar phrase, "Make myself at home." Before the moment could settle, the Duchess's composed voice cut through the silence, reminding the children that they had duties to attend to. She urged them toward their afternoon lessons. Dana and Alan answered obediently and hurried off. The Duchess then informed Ria that she would be stepping out for a while and entrusted the children to her care. Ria responded with respectful urgency, assuring her she would watch over them. With a gentle wave, the Duchess departed, leaving the mansion quieter than before. Later, within the vast stillness of the library, Ria busied herself arranging and dusting the bookshelves. The faint scent of parchment and polish filled the room as her thoughts churned. She could not understand him. He had rejected her so coldly before, yet now he spoke with kindness that left her heart unsteady. The contradiction weighed heavily on her, and she exhaled in frustration, deciding it was better not to dwell on something that only brought her headaches. As she continued her work, a slip of paper caught her eye among the stacked volumes. She paused, puzzled by its presence, and unfolded it carefully. Inside was a neat list of titles: Basic Etiquette for Nobility, Fundamentals of Imperial Protocol, the Peerage Directory, and the Tea Encyclopedia. Her eyes widened at the sheer scope of it. She wondered if Lucio had written it, noticing the meticulous notes added beside each book. The realization came quietly but firmly. If she were to accompany Dana to the palace more often, she must serve her properly. As the maid most trusted and loved by the young lady, she carried a responsibility that extended beyond simple chores. Her confusion softened into resolve. If this was Lucio's expectation, then she would rise to meet it. A small smile touched her lips as determination replaced uncertainty. Days passed in a steady rhythm of study and silence. The library became her refuge and her training ground. One afternoon, Alan and Ria are both in the library studying. Ria is focused and buried in books yet again. Alan spoke and remarked with blunt curiosity that she had been reading non-stop for days, questioning what could hold her interest for so long. His sigh suggested he expected no satisfying answer. Ria looked at him, puzzled by his tone, unsure how to respond. Alan's gaze drifted to the titles spread before her. He read them silently. Basic Understanding of Magic and Spells, the Origin of Mana. His confusion deepened. Did she even understand what she was reading? And why was she studying an introduction to neighboring kingdoms? A faint unease stirred within him as a thought surfaced. Was she planning to leave for the Duchy of Valus? The quiet of the library was broken without warning when Alan abruptly pushed back his chair and rose to his feet, his sudden movement slicing through the stillness. His impatience spilled over with excitement about the Academy Festival beginning the next day. He could barely contain himself, already imagining the lively grounds, the decorations, the performances. He turned his enthusiasm toward Ria, clearly expecting her to share in it. Ria, however, only lifted her gaze briefly from the pages before her. Her acknowledgement was calm, almost absent-minded, before her eyes returned to the dense lines of text. Her mild reaction instantly dampened his excitement. Annoyance replaced his eagerness, and he muttered his dissatisfaction, criticizing her endless devotion to books. He insisted that reading was hardly something special, and reminded her that he, too, was perfectly capable of it. With a huff, he turned to leave. But before he could take more than a few steps, he paused. A faint breeze brushed against him. It was subtle but undeniable. Indoors, in a sealed library, there should have been no moving air. His brows furrowed as he slowly turned his head, scanning the towering shelves of books. His attention was fixed on a particular section of the shelves between bookcases. Something about it felt wrong, or perhaps something that he can't explain. Curiosity drew him closer. Before he could approach, Rhea appeared in front of him with startling speed, blocking his path. Her sudden presence made him recoil in shock. Moments ago, she had been seated quietly at the table, absorbed in her studies. Now she stood directly in his way. He questioned how she had moved so quickly, noting that she had seemed entirely focused on her lesson just seconds before. Without missing a beat, Rhea redirected his attention. She suggested that Diana's lesson must be ending soon and proposed that they go surprise her outside her room. The shift in subject was swift and deliberate. Alan, still flustered by her abrupt interference, reluctantly agreed and told her to step aside. Though confused, he allowed himself to be led away from the strange spot. As they walked, Rhea's thoughts raced beneath her composed expression. She realized how close he had come to discovering the hidden space behind the shelves. When she first arrived at the library, she had been too overwhelmed to notice it. Only after spending long hours organizing and studying in the library had she discovered the concealed area. In her old self, she would have investigated it secretly without hesitation. Curiosity would have driven her to uncover its purpose, but now, as a servant, she reminded herself that overstepping boundaries could bring consequences. She had chosen not to explore it, even though she knew of its existence. She did not know what the hidden space was used for, only that it must remain undisturbed. Her intervention had not been for herself. In her heart, she justified her actions as a way to protect the young master from something he might not yet be ready to uncover. She silently hoped he would not resent her for startling him. Beside her, Alan still appeared unsettled, muttering about her habit of sneaking up on people. The two of them continued down the long corridor together, the echo of their footsteps replacing the whisper of the hidden breeze left behind in the library. The next day, outside the duchy residence, the Duchess, with Rhea, stood with Alan and Diana as they prepared to depart. The carriage waited at the entrance while the Duke personally saw them off. The moment carried a quiet formality as they gathered and climbed inside. Once seated, Diana leaned toward the window and waved goodbye, calling out to her father that she was heading out. The Duke smiled and waved back, warmly acknowledging her farewell. Then his attention shifted. His gaze settled on Rhea. She noticed it immediately, startled by the sudden focus. With calm seriousness, the Duke reminded her to be careful. Rhea froze in surprise, flustered by the direct concern. She quickly composed herself and answered with a respectful affirmation. The carriage began to move, rolling forward as their journey started. The Duke remained where he stood, watching the carriage disappear into the distance. His thoughts lingered on Rhea, and in the quiet that followed, he resolved that he would make sure she had a place she could truly call home. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. See you in the next episode.